Welcome to Digital Asset News, take the top stories in crypto and break them down in bite-sized pieces. And we are live. And today, everybody, we're just going to go over a litany of different topics, starting with, of course, what is going on with the market itself. Then we're going to take a look at what's going on with Walmart and crypto meta NFTs, as they actually have filed a couple of trademarks and patents. And this has been confirmed from the USPTO office, and we'll take a look at the exact trademarks that they actually went through and kind of dive into that. Also, we're going to take a look at Cardano. Cardano potentially trumping ETH in a recent poll in interoperability. Also, we'll take a look at Lynx DAO and potential Dan DAO. And then lastly, we'll take a look at your thoughts and a little Q&A. So before we get started, first of all, we should probably ask the question, how is the audio and how is the video? We're doing this from a different location. We're actually doing a live stream here in the back of the new property here in Puerto Rico. Guaynabo. I couldn't say that right. And I just want to make sure that we are good to go. So if you could be so kind, make sure that you drop a comment in the live chat. Also a comment underneath this video in the actual regular section. Just make sure that the video and audio is doing pretty good, because there's nothing worse than starting a show and you can't hear anything that's going on. All right, so it looks like Sheba looks and sounds good. Hope James is watching. Ada flips soul. It's funny. All right, let's get into it. First of all, let's start with the basics. Just take a look at what's going on in the market. So today it is Sunday, it is January 16th. And what do we have going on? Well, it's a pretty good day in all actuality. On a Sunday, you never know what to expect. And today we are creeping up in as far as market cap, 2.2 trillion, and making a little bit of a headway with 0.4%. Ooh, watch out. Bitcoin is down a little bit over 24 hours. Ethereum is up a little bit. Binance Coin's up a little bit. Solana is up a little bit. But the big winner today is Cardano. So for everybody that has invested in Cardano, rejoice, because you're at almost 10% in 24 hours. And 18% in 7 days, which is a monstrous run, but not as good as Terra in the last 7 days, 28%. So no matter how good you think you're doing, there's always one of those projects that is doing just a little bit better. Shiba Inu up 10% in 7 days, but down 2.5%. Let's see, 20% for Cosmos. It's one of my holds for interoperability. I like that. Near, 7 days, 44%, looking pretty great. I mean, again, you think you're doing good, then you go down a little bit farther. Uniswap, 18% in 7 days. Phantom, up 11% in 24 hours, 40% in 7 days, 31% for FTX token. Just across the board, it's pretty good. So enjoy these gains. And of course, unfortunately, if we take a look at things, you have to understand. We just took a big, massive hit not too long ago, and we're slowly making up a little bit of ground. So just take the wins for what they are. So today, hey, great day. Everybody's having a good day. I'm having a great day. So let's jump into it and just see what's going on with the Walmart and crypto payments. So this was, I wasn't for sure if this was old news or not. It's new to me. And I thought if it's new to me, it might be new to you. So it states here, well, this is actually on Sunday, January 16th, but the trademark and the patents were filed on December 31st, 2021, which is why I thought it was interesting that it took so long. Walmart is quietly preparing to enter the metaverse. Quietly is the key point, because I didn't hear anything about this almost 2 weeks later. So here's what we got. The big box retailer filed several new trademarks late last month, December 31st, that indicate its intent to make and sell virtual goods, including electronics, home decorations, toys, sporting goods, and personal care products. In a separate filing, so they're going to do one thing as far as virtual goods, which is odd to me, and I'll explain that in a little bit. In a separate filing, the company said it would offer users a virtual currency as well as NFTs, but it goes beyond that. And we're going to actually take a look at the trademark. U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Walmart filed the application December 30th, 30th, not 31st. Here is the USPTO trademark application. And this is what is said by Josh Gerben. And we'll actually take a look at the real trademark itself in just a second, but I'd like to get a little context. And this is Josh Gerben. He's a trademark attorney. And what he says is, there's a lot of language in these, which show that there's a lot of planning going on behind the scenes. Imagine this. How much time do you think Walmart took to craft this trademark? Look at crypto, look at digital assets, look at NFTs, look at the metaverse, and then go, you know what, we want to do this. It probably took a hellacious amount of time to do all these things for a multi-trillion-dollar company. I think they would have to take a lot of time for this one. So, of course, going to be a lot of language. Let's see the behind the scenes, how they're going to address the metaverse and the virtual world that appears to be coming or that's already here. Gerben said that ever since Facebook announced it was changing its company name to Meta, signaling its ambitions beyond social media, businesses have been rushing to figure out how they will fit into a virtual world. Before I go on, this is just an opinion that I have. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section. But it seems like when we have these big businesses, these institutions that come in and they give us a signal that, hey, we're going to go hard into crypto, it seems like for a short time, or maybe in a long time, things start to bounce up. Remember when Elon Musk said that he was going to accept Bitcoin for his company to pay for vehicles? Well, in all honesty, how many people were actually paying Bitcoin for Tesla? Not many. But it signaled to people on the outside, as far as people that are looking for the signals to actually get into crypto and going, is this real? Is this legit? These are one of those things that big investors or small investors or medium-sized investors look to and go, okay, this is a real thing. This isn't some fly-by-night. I know it's been around for 10, 12 years, but you have to understand, people like you and me who are watching this, they don't understand crypto and digital assets. They don't see the big picture because it's very difficult. So when they look towards the legacy type of institutions and businesses that are getting in, they're like, okay, well, if they got in, I don't know anything about crypto. I have no idea. All I heard about crypto was Silk Road and all the other nonsense that goes along. I don't know what's going on there, but I trust Elon Musk because he's a genius. He's blasting people to Mars. Or I don't trust what's going on with Dogecoin, but I trust Walmart because I shop there every damn week. So you can see like the parallels between what's going on, and that could be a potential for a catalyst. That is just my thinking. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. Moving on into the article. He states, all of a sudden, everyone is like, this is becoming super real. We need to make sure our IP is protected, intellectual property. Gerben said that apparel retailers Urban Fitters, Ralph Lauren, and Abercrombie & Fitch have also filed trademarks in recent weeks, detailing their intent to open some sort of virtual store. And there's it's a pretty good video. It's about 4 minutes. I'm not going to play it here. I'll link in the description. You can watch it. But it's got Roger Dickman, Artifact CEO, and they're talking with CNBC anchor about NFTs and things like that. And the thing that was amazing to me was this anchor was asking precise, specific questions about the difference between intellectual property between Bored Apes and cyberpunks or CryptoPunks. And I'm like, that is a very nuanced question. And like, she really knew what to ask as far as intellectual property. So I'll link that and you can check that out. So that takes care of that part. Let's take a look at the actual application. So if we take a look at uspto.gov, links in the description, you can do a search for the actual trademark. And if you look over here on the article, it states right here, serial number 971-97296. If you punch that into the search engine, you're going to get something that looks like this, serial number 971-97296. Take a look here, Walmart, yes, USP, literal element, Walmart Apollo. This is their corporate stores. And this is what they're trying to do. And if you're looking for a specific, like, is Litecoin in there? Is Bitcoin in there? No, it's not in here. No specific crypto or digital asset is in here. So I know you're probably bummed out right now going, damn, I wish my coin was in there, but it doesn't work like that. But it's okay, because as people take a look at this story and it starts to make the rounds, and it will make the rounds, everybody's going to start speculating. Oh, well, it's this coin. Well, it's that coin. And then everything rises up. So no, there's no specific crypto, but we can glean some pretty good information about what's going on. If we do a search, let's do a search for Ledger. Let's do a search for wallet. And if you can see right here, this is everything that they plan to do. It is an all-encompassing aspect that Walmart wants to get into the game. They want to do downloadable software in the field of blockchain, software for use with digital currency, cryptocurrency and virtual currency, digital currency wallets, and storage services software, downloadable computer software for use as a cryptocurrency wallet, and everything in between. And if you even do like a search for crypto, there is 78 instances of cryptocurrency all the way through this document. So if people are like, well, I don't know if they're really getting into crypto tokens, cryptocurrency, crypto coins, crypto platforms, blockchain-based platforms. You will see it all right here. So what they're trying to do is they're just not trying to lock in everything. They're just trying to get a good spectrum of what they can do as far as Walmart. I will, though, just for giggles, put in Bitcoin. No, it's not there. Litecoin? No. Cardano? Nah. Solana? No. And of course, they're not going to put a specific crypto in there, but you can, if you just take a step back and think to yourself, what could they be doing? Well, they could be saying, you know what? We don't know what it's going to be, but we'll probably take a whole slew of crypto and just take a look at what other big names have done, like places with PayPal, which ones they have started with and gone from there. They could potentially make their own crypto, a digital asset, makes sense, but they could probably also offer you to pay with your own crypto. So that's what that is. But there is one last thing I want to talk about where it talked about here. Let me blow this up, not my face. You don't need to see me. Software providing a virtual marketplace, downloadable software companies. Here it is. Downloadable augmented reality software, education, video games consoles, augmented reality, metaverse plays, software, video games. It doesn't matter. So what they were saying, and this was actually in the article where they talked about, they're going to offer virtual goods, including electronics. First of all, you're thinking to yourself, why are they going to offer virtual goods of electronics, home decoration, toys, and sporting goods? And it was like a conversation I was having with some of the people over at Boston Protocol. They said, Rob, you don't understand. Everybody's going to have a virtual description or a virtual product that they buy as far as a physical product. I'm like, that makes no sense. Why would they do that? They go, because you'd be able to take it in and out of different, these virtual platforms and all these different metaverse plays. I go, that still doesn't make any sense. They go, Rob, it doesn't matter. You don't need to get it. It's just, that is how it's going to be as the metaverse actually expands. And I thought about it to myself. I thought, you know, like we're on that stage right now when everything is kind of expanding and really blowing up. Me, and some other people just don't see it, but we don't have to because other people do. And I think that things are going to move in that direction. And here's my point of what I'm trying to get to. There was this video and it made a lot of sense to me. And that's Bill Gates on the left. And of course, I will hear this in the comment section about how awful and an evil human being Bill Gates is. Sure, whatever. And then on the right, you got David Letterman. This was back in the early 90s when the internet was coming around. So I'm going to play this. And first of all, in the comments, I've never done it like this. So I want to see if you can actually hear what they're saying. I'm going to play a snippet and just tell me if you can hear this.
But you know, I think about this, and what about this internet thing? You know anything about that? Sure. What the hell is that exactly? It's...
Okay, first of all, could you even hear what he said? Because if not, I'll just explain it. Oh, well, great. Okay, so listen to this. It's about 45 more seconds. Check this out. And then think to yourself where we are right now as to where we are back then. And just remember the laughter you're going to hear in the background and how ridiculous that is right now.
It's become a place where people are publishing information. So everybody can have their own homepage. Companies are there. The latest information. It's wild what's going on. You can send electronic mail to people. It is the big new thing.
Yeah, but you know, it's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement.
I tried to mute it. So here's what he says. So he goes, look, Letterman asked him the question. He goes, hey, can you tell me about the internet? But I was like, yeah, it's gonna take over the world. He's like, that's ridiculous. He's like, what can you do with the internet? He says, well, they just played a baseball game And Letterman goes, well, does a radio ring a bell? We can do the same thing with the radio. Why would I need the internet to do that? And everybody's laughing hysterically. And then he goes, well, you can also record it and listen to it for later. And then Dave Letterman goes, what about a tape deck and recording it that way? That doesn't make any sense, Bill. And he's like, yeah, well, the internet's going to be great and everything like that. And everybody's laughing their heads off, right? So these things that we talk about in the background, and we're like, oh, people are going to have an actual digital version of the actual physical product that they're going to buy. In the background, they're going to all be interoperability as far as the metaverses. We're like, it doesn't make any sense. Don't have to, but maybe that's just how it's going to go. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and let's move on to our next piece. I will just say this. I think this is big. I think it's bigger in the grand scheme of getting people as far as mass adoption and realizing that, hey, if Walmart's getting in, if the Bill Millers are getting in, if Abercrombie and Fitch and Nike and all these different players are getting in, then maybe there's something to it. That's all I want. I want have a big tent for everybody to come in here and get into crypto and digital assets before a lot of other things happen. All right. And that is it for that. Let's move on to our next piece. This ought to make some people happy or sad. I don't know. So there was this poll. And this one was Vitalik Buterin. I'm sure some of you who are on crypto Twitter have already heard about this. It's actually pretty good. He asked his Twitter's followers which crypto they prefer to overtake Ethereum, which is kind of a weird question if you think about it. He's like, hey, if Ethereum doesn't work out, because who knows, what would you like to see? And here was the actual poll itself. And it says right here, let me blow this up a little bit. Poll for Ethereum community. You wake up in 2035 and 80% of all transactions plus savings in the world are in one currency that is not ETH. Which would you prefer it to be? And these were the final results. This was 3 days ago. And Cardano, 42%. Bitcoin, 38.4. Solana, I thought was pretty low there, 13, and USD, 6.5%. So Vitalik talks to, you have to understand though, I mean, Vitalik's got a pretty big reach, and I don't know if I'm sure a lot of people who don't like Ethereum follow Vitalik, and a lot of people that do like Vitalik or Ethereum follow Vitalik. But I just thought it was interesting that Cardano took it out. And if you want to have a good laugh and just see what the comments are. Oh, also he did another one where he says the same thing, but he only had Tron, BNB, CNY, and NEO, and Tron one, but whatever. But if you want to have a good laugh, just kind of go through here, and you can see all the positives and negatives for Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, and everything else that you probably want to know in a pretty funny, sometimes spicy way. And it was just pretty interesting. And then someone made mention about this one. Vitalik announces ETH 2.0 was 50% done. Vitalik says ETH could probably be done in 6 years. Vitalik posts this poll. So guys, if ETH doesn't prevail, who else are we going with? ETH community votes up Bitcoin and Solana. And that's just one piece. But you have to remember, if you think that Solana or Ethereum is going away anytime soon, it's not. I think Ethereum's got a pretty good stronghold for right now. Who knows what it's going to be in the future? But I got to tell you, there's a lot of layer one solutions that are really chomping at the bit and eating away at the market cap, the market space that is Ethereum. But I just thought it was an interesting ride. And you can see everybody's opinion on this one. I just thought it was just pretty interesting to see where we go. And then maybe that's part of the reason why Cardano took a big bump. I don't know. Could be something else, but that's all we got. Anyhow, I'd love to hear what you want to say that in the comments. Next up, Links DAO. Links DAO is a pretty interesting project. So decentralized autonomous organization, and what they do, or what they're doing, or what they've been trying to do since not too early, New Year's Eve 2021, which was 2 weeks ago. What they're trying to do is they're trying to crowdfund, essentially, so they can buy a golf course. And not just one golf course, but they've got two different options. Leisure membership, enjoy membership to Links DAO, which gives you a right for like the first golf club they do, or if they do it globally, if they do this a lot, which I think they might, then you're going to get access to governance rights, same thing, access to a bunch of different golf clubs. So if you're a big golfer, I don't even play golf, But I just thought it was interesting how they're doing it. I play a little golf, but I suck at it. But I just thought it was interesting how they're doing these things for a DAO. Remember, not too long ago, there was a DAO that came up and they were trying to purchase, it was an auction online for the Constitution. And they almost won, and it was just one pretty big individual who outbid them. But the DAO itself had so much power, they were almost able to do it. There's DAOs out there to buy a baseball team. There's a DAO right now to purchase Blockbuster and bring it back up for like online gaming and things like that. There's all these different DAOs that are coming out. I think it's genius what you can accomplish with it, because you really just cut out the middleman. You cut out the need for trust, because how many times have you heard about a business that opens up, they take the money and they're like, oh, we're gonna do this for you, and then they just take off with the cash. But of course, in a DAO, if it's written correctly as far as the code, which is why you'd have to have a pretty good coder and you have to have some pretty great auditors to make sure that's actually right, that you can start to crowdfund a lot of different projects, which leads me to my next point, the damn DAO. This is not something I'm pitching you. This is just an idea that I've been talking to people about, and I want to know what you think. So the DAO that I have in my mind is it's almost like an REIT, a real estate investment trust. And what the DAO would allow people to do is say, let's take Puerto Rico right now, right? So you have Puerto Rico, you have all these houses that are being bought up by people like me. Let's just say, let's call a spade, and it's pricing out a bunch of people. What if you could do this? What if you could have a DAO and you could geographically locate it for specific people in specific regions, and they could put money together and they could purchase real estate in the communities or the areas that they live, and it would go to a massive group of people. So you could, the complexities are tough. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of ways to go about it. But I thought it'd be interesting to get like people here in Puerto Rico to invest into Puerto Rican real estate. Then they can buy it, then they can own it, and they can do whatever they want to. If they wanted to, and of course, that's the whole point with governance. They could vote on what they want to do with an apartment complex, with a commercial property, with an individual house. They could put it up for short-term rentals, which is what I recommend, but that's just me. But the governments could say, no, we're going to keep this for low-income housing and just go that way. And you could do that with a DAO. You don't have to have people who have like 100,000, 200,000 a pop. You could say, hey, I have $100. Hey, I have $50, and you can all just put it in. Granted, it's not that much, but over time it could really build, and you could have equity. There's just a lot of things to think about it. So it's just, if you have any advice about that one, I think it would be a pretty good way to do things, and then would cut out the middleman, so there's nobody running away with the cash. Just an idea, and I'm not pitching it. I'm just saying that I think could actually help a lot of communities out. What you think about that in the comments section. And there's one more thing. As far as the links DAO, I got ahead of myself on this one. So for links DAO, I wanted to see how this actually worked. So I bought a membership and I purchased it, and it was, unfortunately, it had like doubled in price from the first time I saw it. The floor price was like 0.3, and then it was like 0.6. I was like, what the hell just happened? And this happened. Steph Curry invests in Golf Focus links DAO. Damn it. So I just missed it. So if he wouldn't invest, I would have got it at the floor price of 0.3. Unfortunately, I had to pay 0.6. And but I still got in, and I want to see how this works as far as governance and just go from there, because maybe I hopefully can figure those things out. And that's it. So that's what we got today. Little quick show, I think. Now let's open it up for you guys' thoughts and Q&A and all that good stuff. Let me bring this over here. Commentos. Bring this on. Okay. Man, that was a lot of stuff. Let me go up to the top. Man, that's a lot of people. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for showing up on a Sunday. 8 to the moon. Blurry. I can't help you. Is Ethereum centralized? No, it's not centralized. Phantom looks pretty centralized. Although Phantom looks like a great project, it's very centralized. Vitalik got trolled by ADA fans. Yeah, of course. Twitter is not a survey. How dare you? Twitter is where I get all the great information. ETH going to get sued by the SEC. Rumors? Probably Modern Samurai. Probably a rumor. I don't know. Everybody can be sued at any time. Charles got his followers to flood the poll. Well, it's interesting. You know, if you can have that much type of... if you have a pretty, who said this to me? Somebody had said this before, and they talked about the XRP community, and they said, pay attention to the projects that should be devastated by bad news or bad markets, or of course being sued by the SEC, that remain strong and actually thrive. And that is the definition of the XRP community. So if you take a look at community, I think that is a pillar of some of these projects. And if Cardano, I believe that, yeah, I think Charles Hoskins did say, hey, go take this poll. Just like I would assume that everybody else would have said, hey, go take this poll and see if they got to it. I don't know if Solana did, but or BNB or whatever else, but sure, I'm sure he did. I'm guessing. Martine says, hi. And then Rob, people are voting based on what they could afford to buy. Most people can only afford to buy Cardano, so that's what they're voting for. Potentially. I think it could go either way. ADA is down. Okay. I don't know about that one. Okay. Which alts? This is a good question. Which alts will survive in 10 years? I don't know about that one. Gosh, you hope Ethereum would make it, but I just was listening to, is it Bankless? Unbanked? I forgot the name of those guys. And they had Vitalik Buterin on, and he said that ETH 2.0 is going to take around 6 years to really get everything done. But again, I don't know about ETH 2.0. I don't think ETH 2.0 is going to be done next year. Maybe after that, but I mean, for a completion, but things are never complete. So I don't know how that was, but that would probably not be good. Rob, do you know NFTs on Cardano? Yes, I do. Cardano Combat and a couple other ones. And the reason is because I thought it was interesting and it was super cheap. So I was like, I have no problems there. I also have, Link's DAO's NFT. I own that. And that cost me $90 in gas fees. So that sucked. Sound is gone. Let's see. I don't have a surfboard right now. I've just been taking lessons because I suck at it. I got a boogie board though. Assemble protocol, never heard of it. Those new cones. Okay, let me go here. Do you say ADA about 10 years? Hopefully they get that DEX working within that time. That's all I can say. I have a price predictions. Price predictions in 2022, Bitcoin will be between the prices of $43,180.07 and $100,000. That's my price prediction 2022. Learn my lesson. Walmart news, you just missed it. So Walmart just had a trademark. They listed with the United States Patent Office, and they're going all in for different currencies. They didn't say specifically what digital currency, which they probably wouldn't, but telling they're going to start accepting crypto and digital assets and also NFTs and metaverse plays. So again, I talked about, it doesn't really matter if they name a specific coin, because that's not the point. The point is to get the mass effect for people to go, you know what, I don't know about crypto, but I know Walmart because it's on every damn corner. So I trust Walmart, and maybe digital assets and crypto is actually something to get into. That's all I care about. Let's see. Yeah, ADADEX is launching on Thursday. Yeah, Sunday Swap is launching. We'll see how it goes. Just so you know, there was a couple of great articles written on Sunday Swap, and this is not FUD. This is the truth, and this is actually also put out by IOHK. They said you have to understand, when Sunday Swap comes out, it's going to buckle. It's going to have a hard time because there's going to be a lot of demand, and even though they're getting out of beta, it's actually going to be open and ready for business and actually work. It's still not going to be able to be where it's supposed to be. Cardano is still trying to catch up, and they're still trying to open up different things as far as their blockchain and what they want to do. They're going to do increase the throughput, and of course they don't have Hydra for scaling as far as transactions per second. So when you take a look at Sunday Swap, and you're going to hear stories about how there's going to be some congestion, there's going to be some problems, and it's going to actually happen. So for this one, I'm not too super excited. I'm glad it's going to be off the ground. That's great. But just know that it's the first DEX and they're going to have problems. That's just how it is. And it says, will D-News get Sunday swap airdrop? You are on the waiting list only. No. So here's the thing. If you are stake with me, you will not get Sunday swap. So go the other 30. That's it. That's all I can say about that. We will be laughing when Abe takes over your precious soul. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to me? I love Cardano, and I have a stake pool. And I also love Solana, and I don't understand why people can't root for both. You know? I mean, let's be honest. I don't care which one makes it. And I think if you're going all 100% in on one token, anybody, this is not investment advice, it's investment opinion. I think that's a mistake. I think if you're going in on one only and you think this one is going to be it, maybe you've got some better insider information than I do, but don't put your money all in one thing. And if you think to yourself, oh, but Rob, you don't understand because the network effect and there's so much things going on with this one right here and it's really blowing things out the water. Sure. How about this? Put your hand in your pocket, whip out your BlackBerry, go to MySpace, check out the messages there and tell me what's going on. Just because you were the first or just because you were one of the biggest at one point doesn't mean you will be that way all the time. Just to be aware. That's it. All right. Having said that, I'll also take a look at Amazon. They were one of the first to do what they do, and they're still around. Just depends. Near protocol future. I don't know, but I just bought about a hefty amount about a week ago, and hoping it does well. Who knows? Again, I'm trying to diversify a little bit. Try a kayak in the ocean. I have. It's fun. And that's it. Let's see. Let's not make this too bad. What are your thoughts on Pulse Chain? I know it sounds like Richard Hart, Hex, and they're going to be forking the project. So everybody who owns Ethereum, I guess, is going to get Pulse Chain. That's all I know. And if you want to learn more, there's a ton of videos out there. I don't have any. Dan Dow for virtual NFTs, maybe. Yeah, Puerto Rico are great people. It's just they've been decimated by a lot of corruption and a lot of problems. And of course, infrastructure is crumbling and the problems with just nature in general, as far as like the hurricanes. So, and of course, there's a big problem with property. So I thought a Dan Dow, or just a Dow, PR Dow, I guess, would be great for them to purchase property, land, and in their communities. I thought it would be a pretty good idea. If you start the RIT, I'd be interested. The problem with this real estate investment trust, that's a security. And the way that I just explained that DAO would probably be a security. There has to be a lot of different ways around that not ways around it. I know Gary watches my show, so I don't want to say it like that. I will just say that there's ways that you can make it into more of a utility type of token. That's all I'll say. It's not the first. DEX, DeFi Llama is the first. It's going to be the first for it may be the first, probably the first one that's actually going to get notoriety. James said ADA would not flip Sol. It's already happened. Hey, I also said that Bitcoin's going to hit 150,000. I was wrong too. I hear all the devs are flocking to ADA. Maybe. Ooh, there's another one I want to share with you guys right now. If you're just sticking around, there's a Sentiment. I'm going to be talking to these guys from Sentiment, and they've got a pretty good strategy of tracking developers as far as like on-chain analysis. And what I want to do is I want to share that with you guys in a week or two. And I think when we talk about following developers, James talks about this a lot, and it makes sense to me. If we have a way to actually track the developers, I think we can track just how good a project could potentially be based on the developments or the developers that are going to it. Rob is keeping the drop. What do you use to stake Sol? I don't stake Sol. I need to stake Sol. It's one of those things I have to actually do. ADA has already taken over Solana place on Coin. That's CoinMarketCap. Who knows about that one? Do people not care about centralization more? No. Here's the thing. Some people do, and they kind of get it. They're like, you can't have all this centralization and not run the risk of security. And other people are like, I don't care about centralization. Just make it a little decentralized and make me a bunch of money. That is the dichotomy right now. And that is just the truth. How will that work out later on when we talk about security and the trilemma remains to be seen. So I like decentralization a little bit for the long haul. And for those tokens that are not so decentralized, you probably make a lot of money. Investment opinion, not investment advice. And that's it. No devs are flocking to ADA. Bum, bum, bum. What's the next Shiba? Shiba's the next Shiba. Well, here it is. It's a tribalism sickness, says Aunt Lynn, that we are being played by these days. If you're not just like me, I hate you. It's hard to watch. It is, but it was way worse in 2017, 2018. It was really bad. Like when I got in, if you said you liked XRP and owned XRP, you were a pariah unless you're with the XRP community. And if you, you know what else I remember? I remember reading some old Reddits that, where it was all based on, this is back in 2015, 2016, when they were talking about how if you invest into Ethereum, it was a rug pull and Ethereum was a scam. And the only reason that you would, and that people were getting you to invest into Ethereum was so they could steal your money from Bitcoin, because Bitcoin was going to do it all. Smart contracts and globalization, and it was going to be able to do everything that you could potentially think of without slowing down. So it is what it is. Do you own any AVAX? Yes, a lot. I actually have an AVAX stake pool. So there's a link in the description that says stake your AVAX with DNews. Also have a Cardano stake pool. Stake your Cardano with DNews. And it's links in the description. I even did a deep dive video on how to do it. Just click on those links. I'll show you how to do it. Algo and Google. So doing whatever. This was a reference to the interview I had with me and Anthony Scaramucci, where he came out and said that Algorand was the next Google. And I have to agree. It's a very long-term play because they have, gosh, I want to say 4 to 6 billion in tokens, somewhere around there. But the team is super solid. Macari, he's Professor Macari. He is MIT professor. He also won the Turing Award for mathematics. I mean, he's a genius, and he's been doing crypto since late 80s, early 90s. I think it was mid 80s. And then, of course, the people that he's built around it looks pretty fantastic. And they've done a lot of things. And, of course, Mooch, he invested $250 million. That's billion with a B into Algorand. So you should take a look at it. It hasn't really moved too much. And then when it actually came out to market, it started at $3 and it just crashed down. But this was back in 2019, 2020, somewhere around there. Now it's around $1.48 or something like that. So it could do well, but it's a long-term play, and it could do great. I have a good amount of it. Diversification is a hedge against ignorance. Yes, that's true. That's why I need it, because I'm not that smart. I need all the help I can get. You will not make it with this attitude. Jerome, what was your question? You have to answer it again. Oh, what's the next Shiba coin? Cheers. I don't know. It's a meme coin. I guess the next Shiba coin would probably be the next coin that Elon Musk tweets about. That's all I can tell you. And yeah, Charles respects. Hey, what's up, man? Charles respects Algorand, has mentioned it a few times. Yes, exactly. And that's one of the things when I was listening to Charles talk about I think this was on Crypto Capital Venture interview. And he said that the team over at Algorand and Professor Macari and all those guys, he said, hey, they are great and they're doing a lot of great things. And he really, was really on top of it. So I'm like, well, you got, and it seems like a lot of different projects have the same type of respect for Algorand, so I like that. And mass adoption. All right, and I think that's it. That's it. All right, everybody. So as a little recap, Walmart's got a trademark out for crypto digital assets. They're doing every let me just pull it up so you can see. Burp, burp, burp. There's a link in the description. You can find the actual serial number for the trademark. And it's pretty much everything has to do with cryptocurrency, crypto hardware wallets, crypto tokens, utility tokens, metaverse, security, everything that you can think of. They just filed this on December 30, 2021. So they are going in hard and heavy. We talked about that. We talked about the poll which Vitalik put out, which asked about if you wake up in 13 years or so, and 80% of all transactions in savings world are in one currency, that's not ETH. Which would you prefer it to be? And 42% said ADA, but very close was Bitcoin. And I know this is going to sound crazy right now. It's going to sound crazy, but I believe, and I could be wrong, that I think that at some point, Charles Hoskinson and Vitalik Buterin will actually work together just in the same way that Bill Gates and Steve Jobs worked together in the later years. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it happened with Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, and they hated each other. And now look where they're at. So, wow. Bill. And then the last thing we talked about was Links DAO, and how I thought it was an interesting project, especially for DAOs for real estate, especially in specific geographical locations. And that's it. So look, everybody, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing. That's all for today. Thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.